Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to tackle a common question that many Angular developers face when working with conditional rendering using the ngIf directive. Have you ever wondered how to check if a DOM element that's conditionally rendered using ngIf is already present in the DOM? This is an important topic because understanding how to work with dynamically rendered elements can save you a lot of headaches and make your code more efficient. In this video, we'll dive into the details of how Angular handles conditional rendering, what happens when an element is removed from the DOM due to a condition change, and most importantly, how you can detect if an element that was previously hidden is now rendered. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of how ngIf works under the hood and be able to apply this knowledge to your own project. Let's start with the basics. When you use ngIf on an element, Angular adds or removes that element from the DOM based on the condition you provide. This means if the condition is false, the element won't just be hidden, it will actually be removed from the DOM. But how does this impact our ability to detect whether an element has been rendered the key? Here is understanding the life cycle of an Angular component, and when elements are added or removed. When a component is initialized, Angular goes through a series of steps before rendering the template. One of these steps involves evaluating any conditional statements like ngIf, or if the condition is true, the element will be included in the DOM, otherwise it won't. However, detecting whether an element that was previously removed due to an ngIf directive being false has now been rendered isn't straightforward. You can't simply query for the element because if the condition is currently false, it won't be there. One approach to solve this problem involves using a service or a shared variable to keep track of whether your conditions have changed, and hence whether an element would be newly rendered. However, this approach requires careful management and can become cumbersome with complex conditions. Another method involves leveraging Angular's lifecycle hooks, particularly the ngIf hook in your component. This hook is called after Angular has initialized all data-bound properties and set up change detection for the view.watch. By using a query to check if the element exists within this lifecycle hook, you can effectively determine whether an element that was previously hidden due to ngIf being false has now been rendered because the condition changed. Angular's ngIf directive adds or removes elements from the DOM based on condition. Understanding Angular's component lifecycle is crucial for managing dynamically rendered content. Detecting changes in an element's visibility due to conditional rendering can be achieved through lifecycle hooks like ngIf. Carefully consider your approach to tracking and handling changes in conditionally rendered elements. That wraps up our discussion on how to check if a DOM element under ngIf is already rendered. By now, you should have a good grasp of how Angular handles conditional rendering and some practical tips on managing dynamically added or removed content. I hope this video has been informative and helpful. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future videos, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out, and consider subscribing for more content on Angular and web development. Until next time, happy coding!